Okay, in the last video I showed you how to connect two cells together. I've now completed, with Michael's help, connecting 4 strips of cells together. There are 7 in length each, and we're going to connect all of these in series. But before you get too overzealous and just solder, it's a good idea to check your voltages and make sure you're getting what you're expecting. So if you need to do any fix-its on any of the strips, you can do so before you've got everything connected. So right now I'm going to show you how to check them. If you remember from the previous video, the positive side is on the back and the negative side is on the front. So I'm going to put a voltmeter to this and touch to the negative side and then the positive side at the very end of the strip. And if you look closely, you can see that we're getting about 3.7 volts. You can also change this over to measure the current that you're getting out, but you'll have to change your configuration on your voltmeter so that you go to the amperage side. And then flip it over to the 10 amp setting, and now we can touch and see how much current we're getting from the strip of cells. And you see 3.6 amps, and that's good. That's what we're really expecting. 355 is actually what they're rated at. So you would repeat this step on all 4 of these strips, make sure they're good, and then proceed to soldering them in series. I'm going to move back into the garage to complete the soldering, and I'll show you how that works. And now it's important to know how to correctly connect these strips in series. Right now we've got 4 strips of 7. That means we've got 28 of them that we want connected in series. 28 at a half a volt each puts us a little over 14 volts. That's what we're shooting for in this particular model. The last one we did 4 strips of 8, which is 32, so it gave us about a 16 volt plus panel. So in order to connect these in series in strips, you've got to change up how you lay these strips. So one strip needs to lay one way, where you've got it going negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Then you need it to go positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and just keep alternating them until you've got them laid out in that manner. And then you take a strip of this tabbing wire and you simply connect 2 strips at a time. So we're going to connect these 2 strips right here together. We're going to connect the positive from this side to the negative of this side. And it's pretty simple. It's like we've done a lot of the other soldering. You just take the tabbing wire that you've made long enough to cross all of the different pieces, and let's see if I can get it lined up. Alright, we got one. I already put down a bead of solder so that it'd be ready for this. And I believe I've got the second one, but it doesn't look like it's good, so I'm going to get a little bit more solder. Okay, there's the other. It's good to have something to help hold it down while it's kind of getting cool. Otherwise you burn yourself. It's just never fun. Alright, I've got 2 strips soldered together, so now I won't demonstrate this, but I'll do the same for these two on this side. And then to connect these 2 sets together, I'll go down to the end and connect the middle 2 on the other side. And then finally, to have your connection set to go out and lead out and feed a battery, you will pick the positive from one side and the negative from the other side to connect to your battery and your charge controller. I'll show you that later. Okay, I've finished connecting all of the strips together in series. Lastly, on the strip that we're going to make our positive terminal, I connected the 2 strips together, and then I did the same on the negative side. I've got the voltmeter up here, and I've got it on current set right now. So I'll show you what we're getting as far as a reading for current. And it's showing 327 amps, 328, depending on how much sun we're getting. I'm going to switch it over to voltage and check and make sure our voltage looks right. So I put it on the 20 volt setting, and I make sure and change my terminal over to the voltage side. Stand it back up here so you can see it. Touch to the positive side and to the negative side, and we're getting 14.78 volts. That's what we were shooting for. Remember, we had 28 cells together here, and at a little over half a volt apiece, that should be a little more than 14 volts, which is what we've got. The reason why I'm trying a lower voltage is the charge controller that we purchased for this setup says we've got an over voltage going on. So I'm going to try reducing the voltage to see how the charge controller responds to a little bit lower voltage, trying to feed that 12 volt battery. Next video that I'll be sharing with you will give you a little bit of information as far as how to encapsulate these so that they are protected from